Tell me about yourself.
Hi, my name is Casey June. I'm currently a sophomore here at Temple University. I am in the School of Tourism and Hospitality Management. I have a general business minor, and I'm working towards a concentration in event leadership. I am very involved here in Temple's campus and around the community. Here on campus, I'm part of a student organization called Temple University Community Service Association, and I'm actually on the executive board for this organization as the fundraising coordinator, and my main duty is to plan and execute the annual Silver Lining event, which is a cancer research benefit. Part of the student professional organization that I'm in is Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association International. And within that, we just recently went to Atlantic City for a sales blitz with Caesars Entertainment, which basically what we did is we did cold sales calls to prospective companies that we would want to work with and companies that we have worked with in the past that have done meetings and conventions at any of our properties on the East Coast. Also, I'm involved in Meeting Professionals International, which is another student professional organization within Tourism Hospitality Management. I'm also on the annual Alumni Weekend Committee, and I'm basically the student committee the liaison between the students and the committee. For the actual event, it's a 3-day event, I'm going to be hiring volunteers to help out, set up, tear down the event. And I'm also communicating with the students to see what events they're interested in and just try to tie in the whole entire Temple University community, basically alumni and students. As I also said, I do things outside of the campus, outside of Temple. I'm an avid volunteer. I've worked in events such as Gay Bingo and the Gerard Fest, which I have helped set up and tear down for both, and worked at the events as well. I do local work such as like cleanups in the local neighborhoods, and I planted trees in Camden for an environmental project. Personally, I like a challenge. I played high school sports, and I'm super competitive. It can be for a lollipop, and I'm going to win. I have that mentality, and I want the lollipop. I'm very organized. Since I'm involved in so many activities, I've learned how much to value a planner and to plan things out and to stay organized because it just makes life 10 times easier. I'm also a great communicator. I'm social media savvy, which today is a key factor because everything's digital, online, text, Twitter, email, phone, etc. But within those outlets, I'm a really good communicator using email, on the phone, in person. I actually take the time to make sure everybody understands and everybody's clear on the goals and objectives, because I think that's really important to have a successful company or run a successful student organization. I have 3 core values that I try to stick by and that I try to have people around me that have the same values. I value honesty. I'm a very honest person, and I think it's important to upfront tell somebody and work through the problems than to push them in the back and deal with them later, because I believe it just comes right back up front and is right in front of you. I value integrity. I'm a hard worker myself, and I look for hard workers as well. I value culture and communication. This is one of my biggest values. I really value other people's viewpoints. I think bringing other viewpoints to a company, an organization, anything I do really helps the culture grow and helps everything work out better.
Please tell me about a significant accomplishment in your life.
I recently just got an internship with Hyatt Regency Chesapeake Bay, Golf Resort, Marina, and Spa. This is a huge accomplishment to me because the process to find an internship and to go through the interviewing process was tedious and long, and it did deter my morale a little bit. I started off at the beginning of spring semester looking for internships. I contacted through email a bunch of Philadelphia and New York City companies and organizations with event planning because I thought that's where I wanted my focus to be. And I got a few replies back that weren't so promising, and they would be unpaid and they'd be minimal hours, which wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And then I went through an e-recruiting website here on campus, and I found different larger corporations to try to intern for and apply for, which were Philadelphia Hospitality, Hyatt, and Starwood hotel and resort. Going into these interviews and going through this process, like I said, it really deterred my morale because, first of all, I didn't think I'd be getting an internship. It seemed to be that I didn't have enough experience or that, I wasn't qualified enough. And also the unpaid part was a little stressful because I would try to worry about then, I need to get a job on the side. How am I going to make both ends meet to try to do both? And I wanted a good experience overall. Since this would be my junior internship, I wanted a true internship. So I got an interview with Hyatt, and I went in there just, to tried my best to just talk about culture and everything. And they actually ended up offering me a internship right off the spot because what Hyatt values is culture, which is very similar to me, and they just wanted us to be ourselves when we went in there. So they really pushed that at the interview. They're like, just be yourself, sit back and relax, and we'll just talk this through. This was a big intrinsic motivator to me, gaining this internship, especially on the spot, because it was a real just confidence booster. It showed me that, yes, all my hard work and all my activities that I'm doing that at the time seemed stressful, they all do pay off in the end.
Tell me about something you've learned in class.
Well, in my leadership and organizational management, I learned a few things that I also learned in my leadership class that I took last semester. And what I noticed is they all kind of focus around the same key elements of what makes a good leadership and how you organize a company. And the three things that stood out to me were culture, strategy and planning, and team. For culture, as I said before, big is a huge value for me. I'm very culture-oriented, and I learned that companies interview for it. And as I previously said, Hyatt came in, they told us right up front, we want you to be yourself. Their values are mutual respect, intellectual honesty, integrity, humility, fun, creativity, and innovation. So what they're basically saying is be yourself. That's how they work through their culture. That's what they hire for. And that statement right there that companies really do interview for it rings true to myself. I also learned that the common reason for failure is culture. Without culture, a company cannot succeed. I also learned that the kind of culture I want to work in is a company that does focus on consumer service, diverse people, and ethics, which is apparent by me choosing Hyatt as my internship. We also learned about strategy and planning. We talked about foundations of business strategy, which help achieve a company's goals, such as their values, vision, and mission. Values are what you stand for, vision is what you aspire to be, and mission is what you do. Another big part of the business strategy that we learned in class was market segments. We learned that you need to really know who you're marketing to, know who your audience is, and how important it is. And I take this topic back to my silver lining event that I'm planning. When I talk to the committee, one of the biggest questions is, what are these people looking for? Yes, it's for cancer research. Yes, it's a great cause, but how can we get people involved? How can we get attention? How do we reach out to students who aren't really willing to shell out as much money as another average person, business person? The last part, like I talked about, is the team. I learned forming high-functioning teams. You need forming, norming, performing, and adjourning. I learned some attributes of a high-performance team, such as small size, members of complementary skills, and they're all united under one common purpose. And recently in the Wall Street Journal, they reported that Cablevision CEO hired his wife as one of their top spots. And this creates friction, obviously, within the company because there have been people that have been working there for years, and why does she get to come in and just take their spot? And it goes back to culture, what the company stands for, and then it also affects teams. It probably lowers their morale, and the performance of the company most likely will go down because of the friction that's caused between there.